Family goes, oh, na, na, na. Oh, na, na, na.
Purchase your
Come kick it with the Casey's. All that love and all those babies. C-A-S-C-Y. Welcome to the lights. Welcome, C-A-S-C-Y. DJ Envy and Gia, oh, oh. It's time to kick it with the Casey's. You're tuned into the Casey crew.
What up, y'all? It's DJ Envy.
And I am Gia Casey.
And this is another edition of the KC Crew.
Welcome. Hello, beautiful people.
Hopefully you guys are doing great and doing amazing. And again, we say this every week, but we're so grateful for you guys commenting, leaving questions, going in our DMs, emails. And of course, the email is thekccrew@gmail.com. That's THEEKCCrew@gmail.com. All right. Let's get this episode started. So I was talking to Mercedes and S. who are here, and we were talking about marriage and what is the term we use? The traditional way of marriage. What would you say is the traditional way of marriage, and how does it fit into today's society?
Monogamy?
No. Besides
Which I think is
monogamy.
a problem in today's society.
No. Besides monogamy, it was more about I would say the conversation of men and women in a marriage and their position and what they should do.
Their roles.
Their roles in the marriage.
Okay.
So that's what we were discussing and that's what we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I was saying that is because society has changed a lot, right? I think my parents were a society where the man pretty much did everything. He, said it's where we're going. He said what time we're going to sleep. He would say what we're watching on television, where we're going on vacation. He would pay the bills.
Well, your mom worked too, so she paid the bills as well.
Yeah, that's true. But my mom would cook.
Your mom was not a housewife.
She cooked and cleaned.
But she wasn't a housewife.
No, she wasn't a housewife. She did
right.
work.
So,
but back then
it's not diminish her contribution.
No, not at all. Never. But back then it was the men really took the lead and the women didn't have much say, I would say, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now it's changed a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you say is the traditional form of today's marriage? What do you think it looks like? And then we'll break down of does it work or maybe it doesn't work.
So our today's or social media's today's?
Both.
Because that's very, very different. Right now, men want to be bad bitches, so it's very even keeled right now.
So let's break it
down. For me.
Yep.
For me.
Yep.
I feel as though I believe in traditional roles in a relationship or in a marriage. I enjoy those things. And it doesn't mean that roles can't be reversed. And it doesn't mean that there can't be occasions where I take on some of your roles or you take on some of mine. You do bring me breakfast in bed traditionally. If there was going to be any breakfast being brought to anybody in bed, it would be the woman bringing it to the man. So I do believe that it can switch up, right?
Yep.
But for the most part, I enjoy a door being opened for me.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy a chair being pulled out or pushed in for me. I enjoy being courted because even though we've been together for such a long time, I feel as though you still court me and you still impress me. On the last podcast, you said that you don't intentionally impress me, but you impress me nonetheless. I enjoy feeling soft and girly. I enjoy feeling protected. I enjoy feeling provided for. And I don't mean just in a monetary way. You provide a sense of comfort and a sense of safety and a sense of security that a girl can just kind of lean back into. So I enjoy you taking that role. And as a woman, I'm happy to do the cooking and the cleaning. As far as I'm concerned, he can take his clothes off and leave them all over the bedroom floor or all over the bathroom or leave his sink a mess. I will go in and I will clean his sink. I will pick up his boxers and his socks and anything else that he leaves around because he deserves it. He does his part in his role. So I'm happy to take care of him in those ways. I'm happy to be the one that always rubs his back at night. He rubs my back if I'm not feeling well. But when we cuddle in bed, I'm always rubbing his back and his butt and his head and making him feel like a sweet little baby.
Mhm.
Like, that's what I do. Like, I nurture him in those ways. And it doesn't mean that on occasions I wouldn't want to be nurtured. And when it's called for, if I ask for it, he will absolutely do it. But there are just ways that we each contribute that makes the other one feel as though they're cared for. I don't want to take out garbage. I don't want to mow a lawn. I do not want a 50-50 relationship. I want a clear understanding where we fill each other's voids.
Okay. I agree with you 1,000%. And I will say that 1,000%. But now when we look at our relationship, I'm the man in the relationship, meaning I want to be the man, right? I don't want, and there's no disrespect to anybody else's relationship or what you do. I don't want my wife taking out the trash. I don't want my wife paying 50-50. I don't want my wife doing lawn work. There's certain things I want my wife to do, and there's certain things that I do. And it's not because you do it because you're the woman and I do it because I'm the man. It's just certain things I was taught.
And we've never had that conversation.
No, it's
where
just
you do this, and we both just fell into those roles naturally.
correct. Like when we go out, yes, I'm going to open the door for my wife. I'm going to open the car door. I'm going to pull out her chair. There's certain things that I lead on, and there's certain things that I expect her to lead on. This is something small, but when we go to a restaurant, 9 times out of 10, I'm not even really looking at the menu. And if I am looking at the menu, it's just for shits and giggles because she's going to lead and she's going to order the food. She knows what I like. She knows the way that I like it. She knows if I like it medium. She knows what I choose.
And I know what
eat.
you like on Tuesday versus Wednesday versus Thursday. And when the waiter comes, he'll say, she'll order for me.
It is what it is. I don't want to wash clothes. I'm not washing clothes. Gia will take care of that. Now, there are times when, like when we didn't have help and shit got crazy, then all that stuff goes out the window. Gia's throwing stuff out. I'm doing the dishes.
Like, get it where you fit in.
Yeah, it's where like when shit fucked up, you just gotta do what you gotta do. It was melee here when we moved in here. But besides that, is certain things that I expect Gia to do, and there's certain things that she expects me to do. If she has a flat tire, I'm not gonna be like, handle that. No, it's certain things that is expected.
He is also not going to change the tire, but he's going to make the phone call to get that tire changed.
Facts. If she has a nail, if her car is dirty, I don't think if Gia might have went to a car wash every once in a while, but majority of the time when she gets in the car is clean. It's just certain things that is expected.
I want you to fill up my tank with gas.
Right.
And I've probably been to the car wash 3 times in the last 10 years.
Right. When it comes to the kids, I don't do kids, meaning I'm not going to do the hair. I'm not doing their clothes. I'm not doing their outfits. I'm not doing their homework. I'm not signing anything. When the kids come to me and say sign it, I'll be like, bing, 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 bing. I don't even know what I'm signing. Why? Because mommy handles it. That is just me.
I'm going to help them with their homework. I'm not going to expect for him to help them with their homework unless I'm preoccupied and can't.
The only thing I do is I buy the sneakers. Outside of that, mommy takes care of everything. But these are the things that are expected. And I'm fine with that in our relationship. And I don't feel like, oh, you do this, you do that, men and women. But in this day and age, that's what happens, right? And the reason it happens is a lot of women consider themselves a boss, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're bossy, they're independent. So they feel like they have to stand on that. Mm-hmm. So when they have relationship with these dudes or these men or whoever they have relationships with, they want to do like splitsies. I don't believe in that.
I don't think that the women want to do splitsies. I think that I think most women would take offense if they have a man that can afford to pay the bill, but chooses to have his woman split the bill with him.
I do think that there are women out there that want to show that I don't need you and I don't need your money and I will pay half. I think there's a lot of women out there that take that boss and that independent thing and be like, I want my own. I'll do it myself. I'll do it like that, which I don't necessarily understand. And I hate to do this because I know she probably hates when I bring her up, but I got to bring up Mercedes, right? And I'm going to tell you why I bring up Mercedes. And the reason I'm telling you Mercedes is because the women in my life, I look at a different way. And you know Mercedes because we talk about her on the podcast. Mercedes to me is a difficult cookie, right? Why you look like that? I'm gonna tell you
What do
why.
you mean she's a
Mercedes.
difficult cookie?
I'm gonna tell you
I
why.
think she's fully reasonable.
No, I think she's a difficult cookie, and I'll explain why. So if you don't know Mercedes played basketball in college, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she played basketball in college.
Then she played basketball overseas.
And then she was a coach.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I say that is when I say she's a basketball player, Mercedes is not going to back down. Like some women might be like, oh, okay. She's not going to back down. You're going to have to give her a clear, concise reason of why, whatever it is. I don't care if she's talking to me, her boyfriend, the landlord. Well, she has a mortgage, but the landlord back in the day or the guy cutting her grass. You're not going to get over on her because she's going to ask you, and she has that mentality of a basketball player. She will box you out if she has to. That is Mercedes, right? She's also very independent. She does things herself. She has her own house by herself, her own cars by herself, her own jewelry, her own clothes. She goes to restaurants. She doesn't need a man to take her to...
She goes on vacations. And pays for herself.
Right. So now when she meets this individual or her boyfriend, she still feels like, I'm a lady, but I'm a boss, bitch. I can pay for myself. I don't need you for nothing. So now that becomes a weird line because she's so used to doing it herself. I don't think Mercedes necessarily knows how to give it up. And not give up, you know what I mean? But like
you
give
are
up that.
wildin'.
Okay, let's talk.
And I am doubting that you had a conversation with her about this.
I did. And she said she has to try to give it up because she's so used to doing it a certain way.
No, maybe in their interpersonal relationship, but Mercedes absolutely, positively wants to be courted.
Yeah, she wants to be courted.
She does not want to go out to dinner. And I feel as though I can speak for you in this situation. She does not want to go out to dinner and go half seats.
Okay, let me explain.
And hold on. And wait, let me say one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say half seats, right? There's just something inherently insulting to me about half seats. I'm not saying that it can't be a date that I invited you on, that I want to take the lead and I want to do everything. I want to treat you. I want to plan it. Maybe I might even want to pick you up. I might want to show you a good time, right? Mm-hmm. I'd rather pay for an entire meal for you than go half. Half just, it tells me that I'm responsible for me and you're responsible for you.
Facts.
You know, like, well, if we each do, like, if I can't come all the way onto your side or you can't come all the way onto my side, then what are we really doing? Okay. And what is that telling me about our future together? You're so concerned. What?
I was going to say, let me back that up. You're right. Mercedes,
you're so concerned
she would pay for it.
About keeping half of a meal?
Sure. That's right.
Wild.
You're right.
To me.
You're right. And let me bring that back. You're right. Mercedes wouldn't pay half fee. She would pay for a meal with a guy, right?
Only if she planned it. Only if that was understood before. Mercedes... I don't think that Mercedes would want... She might feel the need to, depending on a situation, definitely not with her current boyfriend, but maybe on past situations, she may or may not have been on a date
Mercedes
where she might have felt that, oh, well, he paid for the last date. I have to pay for this.
But that shouldn't be like that.
You know,
where
it's like she might have, I agree, but she may have felt an obligation. That is very different than wanting to pay for a meal or a date with a man.
Okay. Well, all right. Let me bring that back.
She felt obliged.
Right. She feel like, but she shouldn't have to, right?
Absolutely.
In our generation, if you pulled out your credit card or a cash, I'm going to snuff you. Like, don't disrespect me, right? Mercedes, before, went out with a gentleman, right? The gentleman is rich, and she paid. Don't look at her like that. Look straight. She pulled out her wallet, and dude let her pay.
Hold on, come over here.
No,
she hiding behind the chair, right? She just literally crawled behind the chair.
But the reason I say that is because...
with who I'm thinking?
Yes. But what I'm thinking is that is Mercedes, and a lot of women feel like that. A lot of women feel like, I'm not going to rely on you, so I'm going to show
let
you
you know I got it.
Right. And I think that is not a way to have it, because I'm from the class of, if you're my lady, I'm going to take care of my lady. And my lady should be taking care of me. Now, I know somebody say, oh, what, are women just going to be shut up and just go cook? I'm not saying that. No. But I'm just saying that I don't cook. You cook. You don't take out the trash? I do.
Yes.
You don't wash your car? I do. And a woman doesn't have to prove to me that she can wash a car. A woman doesn't have to prove to me that she could change a flat tire.
Mhm.
You don't have to.
Mhm.
Matter of fact, I'm not going to prove to you that I could change a flat tire. You get a flat, I say, I'll pick up your car, I'll take it to
Yes.
the tire spot.
Yes.
Even Mercedes, she gets it before she had a man. She got a
And
man now. I don't do that shit now.
love that.
Right?
That's what I mean, feeling taken care of, that someone loves me enough that if a problem arises, he basically says, you know what, babe, I got it. You go relax. And you could go relax.
But that's how I believe a relationship should be. But in these days, it's not like that.
Mm-hmm.
Women feel, I'm not going to say all women, but a lot of women feel like they have to show. They have to show that they're independent. And I think a lot of times relationships don't work because women don't want to be women and men don't want to be men.
I think it's more because men don't want to be men.
And I think it's more because women don't want to be women.
I think that women, according to you, quote unquote, that don't want to be women, it's not that. They feel as though they have to take on a masculine role because the men that they meet don't want to be men.
Like what don't men want to do then? You tell me what men
They
don't want to do.
They don't want to pay for the meal.
Because you women started paying for the meal. It's like you give somebody a taste and then they're like, oh, fuck it.
But regardless of what that woman shows you, you should still show up as a man regardless and say, no, put that away. I got it.
No,
and listen,
some of these women are aggressive. They're like, no, I want to pay too.
Let me be very clear. I'm talking about a man that can afford to do so because not every man can afford to pay for every date. So in those cases, it's not based on 50-50. It's based on let's show up and do what's best for us conjointly in this situation. So if tonight it's best that I pay for the date, I'm going to happily do so if you're doing everything else. If you have that protector mentality or whatever. Agree. What do you mean? Look at
if we go to cheesecake and I know I can't afford cheesecake, I'm not going to take you to cheesecake. I'm going to take you to Applebee's because it's a little cheaper and at least I could pay for it.
I understand.
If I can't afford
respect that.
If I can't afford Tao to pay for it in full, and I know you're going to get some drinks, I'm going to get some drinks, I'm going to take you to Chili's or I'm going to take you to cheesecake because I know it's a lot cheaper. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take you for a place where I can pay if I'm taking you out.
And I appreciate
now,
that.
Now, there are times once we're together, if I become fucked up, I lose my job, I'm broke. Now, at that point, we're a couple and then you pick up the slack. Mm-hmm. I get that. But if we're just going out and I can't afford it, then we go to McDonald's and I got the $2.99 meal all day long.
What if I really want cheesecake? Or what if I really want Tao? And I can afford to do so. I might say, babe, you know what? Let's go to Tao tonight. I got it. And if we're in love, I think it's cool for you to be like, okay. Or what if it's a college couple, you know?
College
20,
couple is different.
21, 22, or even out of college and just getting started and you haven't gotten your dream job yet. And you can't, in those types of situations, I think that you show up as a couple and you do what's best for the two of you as a unit. But if a man can afford to do so, then I think that he should court a woman. Because if you don't court me and everything's 50-50, then you're going to get so you're on my back tonight? You're going to get, it's going to be 50-50 all the way down the line. Mm-hmm. You can't show up and say, all right, 50-50, and then want your clothes washed, want me to cook every night, want me to clean the whole house, want me to do things for you to make you feel comfortable and as though I'm your woman. No, we both the man and the woman, and I'll cook Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You cook Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday we'll figure it out. Sunday's rock, paper, scissors. You know what I mean? Like
it's a little different.
Has to go both ways.
I get it, but
don't come to me with no 50. I personally, if someone led with that on the first date, it would be the last date. Okay. I don't even know if I would finish that date because it's about a mentality. It's not about the money. Like nobody cares about the money. Like it's not about the money.
Okay,
it's about how you present yourself in a relationship and the way that you're going about it tells me about us in the future.
It's about being a man and not being a man. And this is why I said the new generation has changed a lot, right? Your son.
What?
Your son.
What about him?
Logan.
I know who he is.
I think we talked about this a while ago, right?
I don't know what you're talking about. Okay.
If you ever left my house, I'm walking you to your car, I'm opening the door, and I'm going to see you off, and I'm going to drive off waving to you.
Okay.
What did your son do?
I'm not here to drag my son.
What do you do? What do you do?
Wait, let me recall. He opened up the garage door and watched her walk to her car.
Right? And now, mind you, the garage, she walked all the way around to the front of the house. He didn't even see if she walked all the way to around the front of the house. A bear could have got her.
Didn't
No.
he?
Nope.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because remember, I called him in the room. I was like, a bear could have got her and took her. What, you wouldn't even know.
Bear could have got her and took her, dragged her back to his den and had his way with her.
So he let his girlfriend out the garage, and she walked to the front of the house, which she can't see from the garage, closed the garage, and he went back up. Of course, me, I'm always on the cameras. I seen it. So as soon as I seen it, I called him straight in my room. And I wilded on her, right? And his reply to me is, you remember what he said?
Hold on, let me think. I don't remember what he said, but did he say something like, I mean, if there was a bear, then the bear would have got both of us.
That's definitely something he would have said, but he didn't say that. He basically said, Dad, you're bugging. That's not what we do now.
He did say that.
He said, that's not, basically, in this day and age, that's not what we do. That's not what boyfriend and girlfriend do. That's not what couples do. And I told him, I'm like, don't worry about what everybody else does. You have to do what's right. You have to be a gentleman. You have to be a man. And he was like, yeah, but we don't do that now.
Yeah, we don't do so. Oh, hold on. We don't talk on the phone. Like we don't do that. What do you mean you don't talk on the phone? We text. Like we text, we snap. Like we don't talk on the phone. Like Madison the other day said to me that this person called her. I said, yeah. She was like, can you believe that? I said, what do you mean? She said, this person had the nerve to call me. I said, what was the problem with that? Like, you don't call me unless you know me like that. I said, what was this person supposed to do? Text? I said, I don't understand. She said, Mom, that's just not what we do right now. Like we don't call
That's
unless.
wild.
So yeah, no, it's very, very different. I'll give you another example. When Logan first started dating his girlfriend, I am big on gift giving and raising my son to be the type of man that I'm explaining to you that I would expect in a relationship, even at his young age.
Mm-hmm.
You pay for everything. There is birthdays, Christmas, Valentine's Day, anniversaries, and whatever else you can come up with that you feel is important to celebrate. And on those occasions, you buy her something nice and something thoughtful.
Mm-hmm.
You take care of everything. You make sure that you protect her. And if you can't afford it on your own, come to me and Daddy, and we will help you. I want to make sure that Christmas is big for us, things like that. So this was when he first started dating her. They might have only been together a matter of months. And it was Valentine's Day. And he got her heart-shaped donuts from Dunkin' Donuts and like balloons and some other like little tchotchke type things. And he came home and he showed me. He's like, oh, I got this for so. I said, what's this? And he was like, this is her gift. And I said, that's not a gift. I said, those are donuts. I said, where's her gift? He's like, Mom, it's Valentine's Day. It's not her birthday or Christmas or anniversary. I mean, we don't even have an anniversary yet. I said, babe, it's Valentine's Day. Like, you need to get her something. Oh, no, we don't do that. Like, Valentine's Day isn't that important, et cetera, and so forth. I said, you keep telling me about this your age generation. That's you following a suit. I said, you need to be who you want to be and be who you should be without following suit.
Right.
I'm telling you what's right and what a girl will appreciate. And like, you'll have her heart because and it's not necessarily about the money spent. It's about the fact that you had to go out, consider her, consider what it is that she likes, what it is that she enjoys, you getting something that you knew would put a smile on her face. It's all of the thought that goes into the gift. So I'm not saying it has to be the most expensive thing or the most expensive thing that you can afford, but it has to be something you put some thought in. And pulling into Dunkin' Donuts and ordering the donuts from the window, that's not going to cut it as far as I'm concerned. He thought I was bugging. For Valentine's Day, he thought I was bugging. So he gives it to her. She's thrilled. She's over the moon. He calls me with her on the phone and he's like, he puts her on speaker. He's like, Mom, Ellie, can you please, her name is Ellie. Ellie, can you please tell my mom how you felt about the gift? Oh, I loved it. It was so sweet. We're having the most amazing day. But she's also a great girl and she's extraordinarily appreciative. I mean, Logan can do no wrong in her eyes, but that's what, that's what was good for them. I'm trying to show him differently. And as he's growing and mature, now this was 2 years ago. Now he's more on our level. Like Valentine's Day, he got her something amazing. He took her on a helicopter ride. Like he's learning. But, I'm not just saying it. I want this for my own son
Right.
because I think it's important in relationships.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. Like the generations have changed, and if you do have kids or you're younger, things matter. So don't follow the trend. Do what's right. Make sure
Mhm.
that you treat that woman and you treat your man the way that you want. I believe in, like you said, gender roles. She's a woman. I'm a man. There's things that she does, and there's things that I do. Not to say that I won't do what she does, or she won't. Well, she's not gonna do what I do,
Right.
but there are things.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's get to an email of the week. I just wanted
Okay.
to start with that. I don't even know why that conversation started. All right. Well, let's get to the email of the week. Hi, Gia and Envy. I would really appreciate your advice, and please do not disclose my name. I am stuck in this 2-year situationship. He has a girlfriend, which I found out later on during us talking. And I found out from his father-in-law's IG, which I bumped into after research. Of course, he isn't consistent and has me blocked in his phone at all times. He only hits me up when he wants sex, which is always great sex, by the way. And I know what it is, but I don't know why it's hard to detach myself. He has called me out saying I'm too attached, but I mean, after 2 years, of course I am. And clearly, he's also still coming back for a reason. He has taken me out before, but again, only when he can. I want more for myself, and I know he can't give me that being he's in a 10-year relationship from what I've seen and basically lives off his girlfriend. It's so hard when I don't have much going on, so I find myself always waiting for his text and making himself available for my comfort. I keep looking at their pics on IG, questioning myself like, why her and not me? Which I know is wrong to even think. I ask myself, why do I keep entertaining something that is not mine, but I can't stop thinking and wanting to be around him? Please advise, because even though his lies, I just feel like I'm always in this situation and I don't know how to move forward with him. I keep letting the little things bother me, like him not reaching out after he says he will, but doesn't. What do you think?
Operative words that you said, not mine. I have to watch myself because you emailed because you're in a situation, but I have a particular dislike for side chicks, particularly voluntary side chicks. Some side chicks don't know, right? But you know. And that's not a girl's girl behavior because you have to consider what it would be like to finally find your Prince Charming and have what you probably believe is a great, if not just normal relationship, and to know that he's entertaining other women on the side. Now, of course, you have to hold him responsible because he's the one that's made the commitment to you, but it really does bring into question the character of the women that are willingly and knowingly going on and supporting and benefiting from his bad behavior. It truly says something about them. And you have to consider all the hurt that you would endure because considering the creep that he is, yes, but that there are women just like you that aren't thinking about your feelings. You would think that there was something inherently wrong with those women as well because he can't cheat alone. And you're in a position to make the good decision that those women wouldn't make and detach yourself. So I do think that it's very likely that God is giving you what you deserve. You don't deserve happiness that's coming along with another woman's man. Now, that man doesn't deserve his woman either. I mean, that's clear. But God is not going to bless you. And if he were to leave the girl that you're looking up on Instagram and place him with you, there's a saying that we all know very, very well. The way that you got him may be the very way that you lose him. There's no room for God's blessings in your situation. Now, with that being said, I'm going to close the door on that and move on to possibly what you're going through, that's even putting you in a position to want to be that other woman. To know that he has a person and to idly be in a situation knowing that you always come second. There's a reason for that. It's because his priority is his girlfriend. And he's only making time for you when it's convenient for him. So for you to know that and identify that in this email and still be there for those times and not be able to detach, it means that there's a certain level of low self-esteem and insecurity that is there. It also means that you don't feel as though you are worthy or deserving enough to be someone's priority. Because once you found out that he had a girlfriend, that should have been enough for you. Even if he was saying things to you and you didn't say that he was, but for a lot of women, oh, X, Y, and Z is wrong with my girlfriend, and that's why I'm here with you. She doesn't do this, that, and the third, and that's why I'm here with you. Or I'm leaving her. I just don't know how. Or we have kids together, and that's why I'm there. A lot of times a man will present a myriad of excuses as to why he's engaging in that bad behavior with you. But even if a girl falls for that, there can only be a certain amount of time before those excuses run dry and you know what it really is. But the problem is that you're not able to detach. And being that you realize these things for yourself, it's a conscious and hard effort and decision that you have to make for yourself. Because when you put out that energy that you are deserving and that you are worthy and that you should be entitled to love and being someone's number one, that energy will be reciprocated to you. You have to lead with that. You said, why does this keep happening to me? It's not by coincidence and it's not by chance. It's because you are putting out an inferior energy that the men that you're meeting are respecting. They're respecting that inferior energy, and that's all they're ever going to give you. When you lead as though you deserve something, someone will look at you like, oh, that's what she deserves. So if I don't show up right, I can't show up at all. And that's something that I think is missed on so many women. You don't feel, especially when you're a woman possibly of a certain age or that might think that you have certain disadvantages as it pertains to other women. You may feel inferior to other women and think that, oh, no man would ever, put me first and no man would ever maybe want to make me a wife. Or if I do find someone that will, it's someone that I'll have to settle for. So you have inner work to do on your own security and your own self-esteem that will bring you up to a level where you have to say to yourself, damn it, if you're not coming correct, I don't want to have anything to do with you. And it's not going to take this podcast or me telling you that. Maybe that might be a point where you start, but you really do need to seek therapy. And I've never been to therapy, so disclaimer, but almost everybody that I know has been. And there's so much to be said for it. And I've seen people make leaps and bounds because when you're in a safe space and you could disclose your deepest, darkest secrets, and you can just tell somebody who has no other motive but to see you get better, to see you improve, and they're unbiased and they're trained And they can actually figure out and decode what's going on and what happened in your childhood. Does this person have a relationship with her mother or her father that makes her susceptible to being in these type of situations? Keyword, repetitively. There's something there. It's not by coincidence. So start doing the work on yourself. And, I didn't mean to be hard on you in the beginning, but sometimes you need someone to tell you the complete and unadulterated truth to light a fire under your ass to get you to understand what it really is, because this isn't a one-off situation. You said repeatedly. So I hope the best for you.
I don't know what the hell. Ditto. I agree. I mean, I will say this, right? You are the perfect mark. You are. The reason I say you are the perfect mark is because you know the situation and you don't care. And it's not that you don't care, is you don't want to be lonely. You like the feeling of affection. You like the feeling that he makes you feel. And you feel like if you let that go, you won't have that feeling. You are lonely and you're looking for somebody and you haven't found that somebody. So he's filling that void, but you're not letting him go so that you can find your own. And see, men play a game, right? Men might say, I'm only there for this. I'm only here for that. I'm only here for this. And he's stringing you along. But it's been 2 years and obviously he's going to keep stringing you along because you are there. And that's not what you want because he doesn't respect you as a girlfriend. He doesn't respect you as a wife. He doesn't respect you as wife material. He respects you as a chick that he can come lay some pipe down and leave, and knows that you like him enough that you won't say nothing and that you will look out for him. So Gia is absolutely positively right. You can stay there for 10 years and for 10 years you will be on the side and he will stay with this other woman. And he will give you things and he will tell you sweet nothings and he will tell you everything that you need to hear and he'll be there for your texts and this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, you'll never be that person. So like Gia said, when you want your blessings, you know what it is. You know what I mean? You know what he's doing. It's not right. It's foul. He's foul, dude. He hasn't grown. He's immature, but you're matching his energy. And if you want things to work,
he's matching her energy.
They're matching each other's energy. Mm-hmm. You got to fix up. So I'm sorry. I don't want to say your name, but you know what it is, Rod. That's not her name, but she'll know. All right. Let's go to what? What?
Uh-huh.
What? What?
Nothing. You're silly.
What? Okay. All right. Let's get to another one. Okay. Hey, guys. I love the podcast. So happy you two are back. I have a question for Gia. How do you balance being a great, sexy wife with all the other things on your plate, like being responsible for the house, work, the kids, the schedules, cooking, cleaning, etc.? Sometimes I can turn off my mommy brain. I feel overwhelmed with my other responsibilities that I'm lacking with my husband, not just in a sexual way, but like everything. How do you keep your relationship alive? Date nights are okay. I don't know. I just need some other advice. I look up to you as a wife. Please tell me how to keep the spark present and things alive in my marriage. Now, I will say this. To me, Gia's not dressed up all the time. She's in a sweatsuit now, but she's not dressed up every day. She doesn't have the lingerie when I come home and this, that, and the other. No, Gia has on fuzzy pants and
my fuzzy pajamas
and a white or black tank top.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Sometimes she has funny looking slippers on. Sometimes she's barefoot.
Which one of my slippers are funny looking?
One of them that you wear.
What color are they?
Pink.
You don't like my pink fuzzy slippers?
I love them. I love them. So Gia is not sexy Gia every day.
Yes, I am. I'm sexy Gia every day. I might be sexy Gia in fuzzy slippers.
And that's what I was going to say. I was going to say, to me, she's sexy Gia every day. It doesn't matter what Gia has on. I'm attracted to her and I love the way she looks. I love when she wears a tank top with no bra on. I love that. Like, I love when she wears the fuzzy pants and I pull it down a little bit when I walk past her. To me, she is always sexy. I'm always ready for action. And that it is what it is when it comes to it. Now, if you walk around with your hair tied up all day long, that's a different story. But that's who I am and that's how our relationship is. I know people see Gia sometimes and she's stunning and she always looks stunning. But Gia doesn't walk around with boots to her thighs and cut off shorts so I can just see a little leg.
I don't cook dinner in thighs.
No, she doesn't cut.
I definitely don't.
I dream of that though. But but she doesn't. So
That has nothing else?
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So how do you, how would you say that you keep it sexy in a relationship?
Um, yeah, there's kind of like that illusion of a woman that does it all. And that's all. I'm sorry. I thought, can you please open the door? Thank you.
Uh-huh.
I'm burning. Yeah. There's an illusion of a woman that does it all. And that's always,
That's that one.
thank you. Thank you.
Mhm.
And that's always my goal. That's the pinnacle. That's what I strive to be. So I try to come as close to that mark as I possibly can. I'm also a perfectionist. So where there's no such thing as perfect, my goal is to get as close to it as I possibly can. You're never going to hit perfect, but it's my pursuit of trying to be as much of the perfect mother as I can and trying to be as much of the perfect wife as I can and the perfect homemaker and a perfect friend and all of those other things. I'm constantly trying to self-edit and always trying to be better. And when I finish something, I may think, how could I have done that better? If we get into a disagreement, I think to myself, how could I have done that better? Am I exuding ego or pride and things of that nature? So that's my goal. Um, with that being said, I've always, since I was younger, uh, like everyone, you're exposed to what a quote unquote soccer mom looks like. It's like soccer moms and dad bods. Like they come together, and that's what life after 35 is supposed to look like. I've always wanted to reject that. I've always wanted to try to look my best for my husband because, and it's reciprocity, where I feel as though he does everything that he can to impress me without even the intention of impressing me. I always want to show up impressing him. I always want to be beautiful for my husband. I want to be well dressed for my husband. I want to be, laid, made up, hair done for my husband. But just like he said, that's very difficult to do on an everyday basis.
Mhm.
But so you don't have to strive for that, but it also can't be far gone in the polar opposite direction either. I know some moms that don't even shower. You know, like 4 days can go by and I get it. I understand why, because you're inundated with duties and responsibilities and taking care of everybody else where you fall short of taking care of yourself, where doing your hair, putting on makeup, and sometimes putting on clean clothes or something that looks nice is like a distant thought. Like, who has time to focus on all of those? I got to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, fix these hot lunches for these kids. I have to fix breakfast for these kids while they're at school. I got to cook, I got to clean, I got to do laundry, I got to pick them up from school, I got to take them to their activities, then I got to come home, feed them dinner, bathe them, pick out their clothes for tomorrow, iron them, steam them, hang them up, have everything laid out, try to spend some quality time. Maybe I'll watch a Netflix special with my husband. I might have to take some type of aid or additive or something to help me stay up so I can continue. And then maybe have sex. That's a lot to do. So making sure that you present yourself aesthetically the best way can be really, really difficult and so low on your list of priorities. But for me, sometimes I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning or at least 30 minutes before my kids get up so that I can take care of some of those things, so that I can take a shower, do my skincare. And believe it or not, I don't wear makeup often. You know, a lot of times the most I'm going to do is my eyebrows, a little mascara, and a little bit of lip gloss. But the idea is still looking, I might not have a full face beat and a glam squad and might not have eyeliner and this and that and all of that. But the idea is that you're still very well presented. It gives the appearance of putting something into the way that you present yourself, because Just like it's nice to show up to someone's event well-dressed and on time, I like to show up for my husband the same way because it's a sign of respect and appreciation. You know, having a neat, clean, organized home is a sign of love, respect, and appreciation for the person that or the people that you share that home with. So if I have to get up early, whatever it is that I have to do to make sure that I provide those things for the people that I love, I do it. And intimacy is a big part because, you're talking about how do you keep it sexy. We're together for 30 years.
Mhm.
And if you let it, things can get old, stale, boring, and monotonous. Same thing over and over again. So I make it my business to make sure that those things don't happen. And you can gauge. You can gauge your partner's reaction, their enjoyment, and the degree to which they want to keep re-engaging in that activity. If someone is bored, it's not something that they're going to want to do. If they're disinterested, it's not something that they are going to want to do. So I think that it's very important to keep it fun, flirty, and very sexy. I take it upon myself to send him text messages and things like that. Like a few podcasts back, he mentioned a text that I sent him in the morning because I had appreciation for what happened the night before, So I sent a text saying as much, and like little things, like if a thought goes through my mind, I say it. And I think aside from sexually, I also try to make him feel appreciated because, as we've said 1,000 times, he works very hard. He travels a lot. There's time spent away from home. He's always exhausted. He's always overworked. So making someone feel good outside of the bedroom, letting them know that they're appreciated and that they're respected and that you love them is very important. I'm very expressive about the way that I feel about him. I don't let any stone go unturned because it's important. The same way that as women, we want to feel appreciated because we like wave that flag. Oh, he doesn't appreciate me. I want to feel appreciated. We want to feel appreciated. We want attention. We want compliments. We want to know that the effort that we're putting forth is being noticed. And he does a good job letting me know. So that gives me the encouragement and the desire to keep giving. So it's a reciprocal situation that we have going on here. And because of that, it does not get old. It does not get stale. It does not get tired, which is why we always say that we spend so much time together. If we're not together physically, we're on the phone, we're on FaceTime. I always know where he is. I always know. And the same thing, he always knows where I am. He always knows what I'm doing because it's something that we've created and it does take two.
All right. Well, hopefully that answered your question and good luck in your relationship. And now it's time to get up out of here, man. If you want to email us, you need advice or anything, you can always email us at thekcrew@gmail.com. That's TheKCrew@gmail.com. Salute to our sponsors. Shout out to Monster Energy. We appreciate you guys. And also, of course, Lincoln Tech. If you're looking for a trade school, perfect school. They have everything from electric to HVAC to health to automotive, of course. All right. We'll see you guys next week. And thank you so much for riding with us. We really, really, really appreciate it. Time to put the kids to sleep. I'm DJ Envy.
And I am Gia Casey.
And that was another edition of the KC Crew.
Toodles.